Here's what's happening in the news today in regards to the dollar. Just reported that Russia and Argentina to discuss using local currencies in trade. This is according to Putin. So it looks like Vladimir Putin and the president of Argentina, Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, are meeting or have met, and they basically began to plot and plan on ways to, bypass the dollar. And so from this article here, a couple things that stood out was just how Russia and Argentina will consult on using national currencies and mutual trade settlements. We agreed to hold extensive consultations on the question of using national currencies in trade payments between states and between commercial partners. Russia has set up similar schemes with China, Iran, Egypt, Turkey to cut out the US dollar, the so-called middleman used in most transactions. And so it goes on to list a couple other major deals, primarily just Russia and China alone being a big portion of the global economy as far as production and consumption. How they've got a $20 billion, trade agreement going amongst themselves. And then here, just the Russian Prime Minister setting up a similar system with Vietnam. And so the two head of states also signed 20 agreements ranging from energy projects, economic, agriculture, trade, whatever. So basically, long story short, this is just more of global monetary news on how the East is deciding to basically bypass and shift away from the dollar. And so it's several Latin American countries, Argentina being a primary or probably one of the biggest ones, it says here, who does 1.4 billion last year in predominantly agricultural, such as fruit and meat. So basically now that Russia wants to use the ruble and Argentina will use the peso, even though the peso is questionable, being that it's very unstable as far as its the rate of inflation there, which is continuing to put pressure on the peso, but yet Putin, is willing to basically accept pesos, even though it's not very valuable at this current point. But I guess it's all in efforts to bypass the dollar, which is what this is pretty much all about. Just the global monetary information that's going on surrounding the dollar, how nations are beginning to rethink the dollar. This is just news that I believe that you're definitely should know about. This is what's going on with the dollar, and this is from RT as of today. So just one more nail in the coffin as to how and why people are beginning to rethink the dollar. So just out of curiosity, rather, the question you should ask yourself is, why is all these nations beginning to want to bypass the middleman, which is the United States, and the usage of the dollar? Just a little food for thought, something to give you to think about. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.